Hello, beautiful friends. Susan Baruso here from New Orleans Health and Healing in Metairie, Louisiana, just outside of the beautiful city of New Orleans. And I'm here with Jennifer Williams, who is having great success with using the Avacen. This is a energy medicine device that works on microcirculation, and I'm going to explain just a little bit about it before she shares her testimonial. Like I said, it works on microcirculation, which is super important for healing, right? We have macro, which is your arteries and your veins, and micro, which are your arterioles, capillaries, and venules. That makes up 76% of our circulation, right? So those are the side streets, and the arteries and veins make up 24%, and those are the highways. So the two together are super important, right? So this actually will increase, like we said, the blood flow, increase oxygen to your cells, increase nutrient uptake, help remove waste from your body. It also, which is pretty amazing, puts you in a parasympathetic state, which is a calming state of your nervous system. Today's world, everybody's so stressed out all the time about everything. So yeah, you can use this a couple times a day, and I'm gonna let Jennifer kind of go in a little more detail about that. So thank you for being here, Jennifer.
Well, thank you for having me.
Sure.
So I absolutely love the Avacen. The Avacen is one of my favorite things ever. So I'll tell you how I got introduced to it. So in February, I was here for Mardi Gras, and Susan and I went out to eat. And after we finished our dinner and we were heading home, I started to get a migraine. And I was like, oh, great, maybe just pull over somewhere so I can get some Tylenol, which I don't like taking and I don't take. But if it's at that point, it's like, just give me something. I can't function. And so Susan was like, hey, well, why don't you come back to my center and I'll get you on the Avacen. And she explained to me like everything she just explained to you, right? But to me at that point, it was just kind of like, okay, I don't care about what it does, but if it works, I want to use it. So we get here and, I'm already the type of person that it's like I'm carrying the weight of the world on my shoulders. So people are always like, relax, unclench your jaw and your shoulders, because my shoulders are always like this because I'm like, ugh. And so, I'm like, okay. So we get here and, I lay down on the bed and Susan gets the Avacen ready. And she's like, I just want you to relax. You just put your hand in it for 20 minutes and, just relax. She got the essential oils gone. And so I'm like, okay. So within the first 5 minutes, I felt the migraine just dissipate. Like it just left completely. And I'm like, wow, like that's amazing, because I didn't take anything, like the headache's gone. Well, by the next 10 minutes, I felt just this wave of like peace, just going over my body. I felt my shoulders just automatically drop. The jaw was unclenched. And I'm like, wow, like this is amazing. So when the treatment was over and Susan was bringing me home.
And actually, I'll say when I went in the room to get her, she was almost asleep, because it does really calm you to where you can fall asleep that quickly.
Yes. And so when she's bringing me home in the car, I'm like, Susan, I feel high. I'm like, but not like drug high. I'm like, I can't even explain how I feel, but I feel amazing. I feel wonderful. I haven't felt like this in I don't know how long. And it's because the nervous system, right? And so everything was just relaxed. And so I knew at that point, I'm getting me one of these machines. Like as soon as I get home, I'm getting me one.
Right.
So within a week, I went home, ordered the Avacen machine, and it's a godsend. I mean, I use the Avacen twice a day. My goal is to kind of use it for 2 hours a day. But, with life and your schedule gets busy and stuff like that, sometimes, you might not have all that time to do it. But I make it a point, okay, look, if I can only do like 20 minutes on each hand, like I'm doing that, because I know otherwise I'm going to be like this. But when I do the Avacen, it kind of sets the mode for the day. And then, I'll do the other hour at night. And also another thing I thought of, I was like, whoa, I'm like, you know what? We're getting older here, right? I'm like, imagine what it's doing for our skin. It's bringing that blood flow. It's increasing the blood flow. So I've even noticed that my skin is tighter up in this area, like what do you call that? The jowl.
Right, our jowls.
Jowls
Right?
or whatever. So I've even noticed that. And so, me, I'm like, oh, I'm going to use it a little bit more. So I use it twice a day. And I mean, it's amazing. It's changed everything for me. And another great testimony of how the Avacen's helped me. We just got finished remodeling our bathroom, and I spent a whole day, getting the tiles off the wall myself, and like kneeling down on my knees. By the end of the day, I couldn't walk. Like, I tried to stand up, I couldn't stand on my legs, and I was like, oh no.
Not listening to her body, pushing too much.
And so I had to lay down. I couldn't walk. And I'm like, oh man, this is not good. Well, I remembered about the DMSO. So I got the DMSO out, which is another amazing nutraceutical product.
Yeah,
and
it's made from pine needles, and it's incredible for pain and inflammation.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. So I was rubbing the DMSO on the front of my leg, on my knee, on the back. And then using the Avacen, for the pain to increase the blood flow there. And I was even doing like clapping, I was doing everything that I knew that you taught me to do to help myself heal. Well, within 3 days, I think on the third day, I was out running again. So, within 3 days, I'm out running 4 miles. So that's...
And if she would have been here, I could have done one Wolf non-surgical bodywork session, and that would have been it. But we're going to be doing that today.
Yes.
So it's incredible. It's another piece of the puzzle, right, y'all? It's, nutraceuticals, it's the bodywork, the Avacen, healthy lifestyle, working on your emotional health, everything to really achieve that perfect day, right? That's what we're always striving for every day. So thanks for being here today. And I'm again Susan Baruso. And this is New Orleans Health and Healing Center in New Orleans, Louisiana. And my phone number is 504-338-6456. My website is Susan Baruso, My email is susanbaruso@gmail.com. And my website, which is under construction, which will be up soon, is NewOrleansHealthandHealing.com. So thanks for joining us today.